to dustin'. Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Radios on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new bay alert, gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost. Like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that. You gon' lose too. Dripping in.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a long... Loss of two there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
You got 56 there. Down.
On second down, here's Carr. And an alley to run. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Carr. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11.
Patriot!
Back to throw. Spinning away. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Back to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
29. Get down.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Carr now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? And then
now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Throw left side, complete to Sharp. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. They come out here in the eye. They get it to him running left. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, his second touchdown on the season. And the Patriots are an extra point away from going out in front. Extra point try good by Gano. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
first down carry by Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. In for the score. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And on the ground they go with a running back. Man, not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Lucky 56. Gone.
He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete here.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Carr now on 1st down. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
694.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his man sharp, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to Foxborough after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
They'll look to throw. That is going to be caught by Sharp for a New England touchdown. Tajay Sharp, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots are an extra point away from going out in front. Gano the extra point, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Patriots. Room here to run. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Gone!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Gone!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
New England on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll go down at the 28. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Low! Get down!
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Ross. Spinning again. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Pinheiro is good. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper, complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A give to Jones. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Carr gonna throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Got to give him points for the attempt, and there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Low, low, low. Down. You waiting? White.
Shotgun now for Carr. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Whitaker. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Back to the NFL scoreboard for his 3rd quarter in Indy. And it's the Bucs who have moved out in front in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Get down, get down. You ready?
From midfield, here's Carr. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Eddie Vanderdoes there on the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And the question now, can the Patriot defense hold firm again on 3rd and goal? They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Throwing now is Carr. And that is caught for the 2 points. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out come the Patriots. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A big play there for New England. And even 40 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Lucky 56.
Back now in Foxborough. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Leopard! Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Bernard. $17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Gets it to Gordon. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Carr now Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Carry for Bernard. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Patriots have it. He's got daylight. The 40, the 30, past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that gives him a 3-point lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
7:34.
To throw, it's Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Carr now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they'll run it here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they will take a knee here. The Patriots in the victory formation as they'll take the knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won, and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time, not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quad.